Welcome to the Youngins Podcast. We have a very special guest, a player that is honestly one of the highest ranked players in the country, and also a player that every team is talking about right now, Nate Ament. Thank you for, joining and being on the show with me. But, tell everybody where we're at right now, because we're in the classroom. I know a lot of people are going to be like, bro, why are they in the classroom? But tell everybody where we're at right now.
We're in Chicago, shooting some pictures and video for Reebok, just on a deal with them. So, I mean, it's big news, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah, with the situation too, before, did you know anything about Reebok before, because I think one of the biggest things has been the disconnect in terms of the youth. A lot of people aren't really familiar with Reebok, and that's why I really rock with you and your decision, because for me, Reebok was a big deal. And I feel like you're a trendsetter, but speak to that and like how you ended up learning about the Reebok.
I mean, obviously, I didn't really know about Reebok. I didn't know about, I don't know about much clothing brands, to be honest, or just shoe companies. But once I did my research a little bit, research their products, the management, the people they've brought in, it was really just a no-brainer for me. I feel like they have, spectacular clothing line, insane people around them. So it matched my circle, and so it was like a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, and then, with that, I want you to speak to being a trendsetter. A lot of kids always say that they're a trendsetter, but they always follow the wave. Mm-hmm. In terms of being a brand, what can you say in terms of, being a trendsetter and figuring out a spot that's best for you?
I mean, for me, it's really not about being a trendsetter or just trying to do something no one else is doing. For me, it's really just doing what I want to do, staying true to myself, what I like and what I don't like. I could do what everyone else is doing, but that wouldn't be me. So, I mean, I'm just going to pick the best choices for me, the best environments. I really love the Reebok brand. I love every decision I'm making. I have to make sure I love it before I can make that decision. So after I did my research, after I learned about this brand, I love it. So I had to choose it.
And, being a top prospect, can you speak to how it is in terms of having a million people come at you like, oh, I got this deal, I got that deal? Like, how is it being a top prospect, and how have you seen the change and when, before you weren't as known all the way up until now?
Being a top prospect, I feel like it's kind of easy to get like lost in everything, lost in the rankings, lost in, all these deals and decisions. But for me, it's really just keeping the main thing. Basketball is the main thing, and then, if I perform well in that, then everything else will follow. So for me, it's just attacking every day, like I said earlier, making sure that, I'm going 100% in practices and workouts, not really concerning myself with the deals I got going on. And that's why I surround myself with such a good circle, so that I have kind of time to be a 17-year-old kid and kind of allow them to handle the business side of things. Well, I mean, that was just probably the most important thing for me coming up and being the player I am, is just keeping my circle. We're all on the same page. We all know what's going on, and just allow them to handle everything. So I trust them with everything that's going on.
Yep. And one thing that I really like about your journey compared to everyone else in your class is that a lot of them were, ranked ultra high from the beginning. You came into this situation, and now look how disruptive you've been. I mean, you're a player that everyone has been talking about, but tell everybody how the journey was to even get to this point.
I mean, the journey was tough. I mean, the work was hard, super hard, but, work's always going to be work, and you have to do it regardless. So, I mean, just coming up, I wasn't too focused on, I need to get this guy, I need to win this matchup, I need to do this. It was really just me working out every day, making sure my routine was, I was sticking to my routine, staying disciplined. And I feel like, I feel like I have God-given abilities, and if I just work at it, then that's a formula for success. So if I keep working and keep trusting in God, then I feel like there's no one that can really stop me.
Yeah, I like that. And can you tell everybody, the growth in terms of your ranking process so people can know? Because honestly, I hate the rankings. Yeah. I'm not even going to lie to you. Mm-hmm. People always try to guide Swish to do rankings. I refuse to do it, number one, because I know that trajectory is not going to bring you all the way down to the NBA. But can you tell everybody where you were ranked and from the freshman year all the way down, like the progression?
For ESPN, I know it was kind of different. I know I was ranked early on On3 and 24/7 and stuff, but freshman year wasn't ranked. Beginning of sophomore year wasn't ranked, and then I think sophomore summer or beginning of junior year, I debuted on ESPN at like 40 or something, or like 50, and then from then it's kind of just been like a steady increase. I mean, I don't like rankings, but it's cool to see, the work you've been putting in has been kind of being seen by everyone else. If tomorrow I'm ranked 50 again, it wouldn't matter to me. I'm still going to be the same guy. I'm still going to work just as hard. So I mean, rankings don't really matter to me as well. It's just, I mean, it's kind of cool to see how far I've come from a growth standpoint, just how other people view me and my game.
Yeah, when did you feel like things started changing for you in terms of like even your game and all the national attention? When do you feel like that started?
I'll probably say my junior summer playing AAU. I just gained a bunch of confidence. And then sorry, sophomore year summer. Because sophomore year summer, I gained a bunch of confidence. I was working on my game and started implementing it into live situations. So that just helped me out a ton. And then that's when I started to pick up some more offers. People started to see me more. So that sophomore summer was really a big step for me.
Yeah, and then game wise, speaking to your game, what can you say that is the best parts of your game? Because a lot of people say, they bring up the off the bounce. I love that you could catch and shoot, because I know ultimately at the end of the day with your size, catch and shooting is a premium, especially now. Everybody wants to get to the bag work. Yeah. But what are some things you like about your game that you've worked towards?
I mean, I really love the bag work, like you said, but I really think the catch and shoot is probably one of the best parts of my game. I mean, that's something I work on every day. I mean, I work on all parts, but really that's something that you can just rep out so easily, and it's you need it in every level of the game. So I probably say my catch and shoot, and then I probably say my mid range is kind of where I like to work at a lot of the time. Get downhill, get a bump, and then just shoot over top.
Yeah, off the bump, you like using that drop dribble. Yeah. I've noticed that. I've watched a little bit of your tape. Don't think I haven't watched now. We ain't just talking, and I haven't watched over the tape, but I like the drop too. Like, you're really good at using the drop and using that bump. Like, when do you feel like you started? Have you been watching any film on any players to get that, or like, is that something you've been working on?
I don't know if I would say film. Me and my trainer Chauncey's been working at it for a while. It's kind of tough. I'm not really. I'm strong, but I'm not. I have much stronger people guarding me, so it's easy to get bumped off your line when you're driving. So a big thing that we rep out when we're training is hit them before they hit you. So I mean, it's easy for me to get a bump in before they can bump me off my line, so that they're off balance and I can shoot over top.
Yep, and we're gonna bring into this. We call this raps. This is what James Harden calls it. He always told me it's called raps. You get to that between the legs cross. Talk about that.
That's
is
my
that
go-to.
to read? Yeah, that's the go-to, right? I'm telling you, we watched the film a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I remember when I watched you at Slam and then I watched you live at Elite 24, you were getting into that. But what does that do for you?
The tween, I mean, for me, I usually, if I have a lot of space, I'm going straight to my tween game because, one, I want to see if the defender's going to bite. And if they do bite, you can, hand swipe, get around them. But also, it's just a rhythm thing. Like, you start getting into your tweens, you start feeling it. You got the three, you got the drive. You just have so many options off, my tween dribbles. And that's probably my favorite move, honestly.
Yeah. And then, kind of talking about that, this year on the Adidas Circuit, your name really blew up. I mean, I kept hearing about you. Honestly, I went to Treviso expecting you to be there. I was low-key sad that you weren't, but you made the USA team. You shot 43 from three. How did you feel like the Adidas Circuit helped you in terms of?
For me, the Adidas Circuit wasn't too much guard heavy. I would say they just had a lot of big, strong players in the Adidas Circuit. So it was good for me as someone who wants to not be like a traditional, 6'10" guy. So I can, stretch the floor a little bit more. It was good for me to be against guys that are maybe a little bit stronger, but maybe not as quick. Also see the other side of it as, you got some strong physical guards there too, which was good for me to see. So it allowed me to work on, my post-ups, but it also allowed me to stretch the floor because it allowed me to work on both of my matchups because some people are going to try to stick, a smaller wing on me. Some people are going to try to stick a forward on me. So being able to decipher which moves to do with both matchups it was perfect for me.
With the circuit situation, there was no circuits like it is now when I was playing. What can you say to kids in terms of the circuit? Because a lot of kids think, oh, I got to play in this circuit. If not, it's make or break. Like, I'm like, the teams, they'll find you if you're nice. What can you speak in terms of the circuit situation?
For me, freshman summer, and freshman summer, I didn't even play you. It was just me all in the gym working on my game. So I would say that's something you need to do first if you're gonna try to make a huge name for yourself. Is make sure you understand your own game and you have your own game down pat. And then for me it was more fit over circuit. I mean I didn't know anything about any circuit, so for me going in team loaded, I knew the coaches, I knew the teammates, I knew them all. So I mean I fit in perfectly with them. Me and the head coach had a great relationship, so I just fit perfect, and it didn't matter the circuit for me, because if you're really that nice and you're gonna bring the attention to wherever you go. So for me, that's just was my mentality.
And bingo, you said it. Like, when you're nice, they're gonna come to you. You played in Virginia. Team Loaded is in Virginia, guys. A lot of people are over here running and going to other states. One thing that I really love about you is loyalty. I mean, I'm pretty sure a million people tried to take you from a program, from the school. And I remember earlier today you said, my biggest goal right now is to win a state championship with the people I started with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear that no more,
Yeah.
just being honest. And speak to that.
I mean, that's where I'm from. That's my, I'm from Virginia, and I don't want to leave Virginia. I feel like I can do it all in the state that I'm in. I want to just give a huge shout out to my teammates right now. They're my guys. It wasn't easy for them. I know me coming to their school, but they just been the best teammates ever. Honestly, they've been so receptive, and they compete with me every day in practice. And if you were to come to one of our practices, you wouldn't know I'm a 5-star. They're just they're getting up and down. They're talking shit. Just being great teammates. But I feel like I just feel like God put me in Virginia for a reason. I'm not. So if I were to leave, there's no reason for me to, because God put me there. I just feel like for me, it's been so much about God's path and where He's led me, instead of me having my own goals and me trying to get somewhere where, to be honest, it wasn't really even my goal to be the player I am today. It wasn't my goal to be an NBA player, a college player, a 5-star. It was just my goal, to play basketball. And then I can't say that I've been doing this all because it was because of me, but it was really just because of, God's path, and it all worked out that way.
Yep, and kind of going as we end to the brands and then choosing your agency, you chose Lyft. We got my dog in here, to the left of me. But a lot of kids are dealing with the agency process, and the more I'm getting into the high school, I start to see when they're freshmen, they have agencies approach them.
Mm-hmm.
How did you go about dealing with that and choosing Lyft, and how that situation went, and how you were able to deal with it with your family?
It's kind of the same way you approach picking a team. Like what I was saying with AU, it's all about fit. I met my agent Derek from Lyft. I met him a year and a couple months prior to even signing with him. So we took the time really to get to know each other. It's just you have to trust the people you're going to be allowing to represent you, and I trust those guys with my life. They've done a great job. It's easy for me to go to sleep that night knowing I have people like my agent Derek, and people in my circle working for me day in and day out. So I trust those people, and if you're gonna be having someone represent you, you have to trust them. And I feel like my boy Too Easy is one of the best in the biz, so it's kind of easy to trust him. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. That was kind of a bar. My boy Too Easy, so it was kind of easy for me to trust him. Yo, you rap a little bit? That was kind of a bar, low key. Oh, okay. All right, bet. I had to ask them. And then with the brand deals, so many people tell me, what I've been hearing a lot of is that, I want to focus on hoop. Then we go months later, and then they left the agency because they didn't get any brand deals. So, like, for you, I've learned that a lot of top athletes, you guys are very selective. Y'all not just jumping at every situation that comes your way. What can you say about this brand process and what you've learned?
Well, I had to do a lot of research on a whole bunch of different brands, what I liked and what I didn't like. I'm not really a really picky guy, but if I'm gonna pick a brand, I want to really love that brand that I'm wearing. So that goes along with my circle, what I was talking about earlier. Guys like Derek and my brothers, my family, they do their research as well, and I trust them. I ask for their input all the time, and they had flying reviews and things about Reebok, so it was like kind of a no-brainer.
Speaking of Reebok, I think one thing you especially is gonna start with you, that you're gonna really change, is the PEs. They're going to give you a lot of player edition shoes. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that on the NIL circuit, and I know it's going to change the landscape. But what was your thought process when you got the Ps and you tell you're going to get Ps?
I mean, that's why I think Reebok is so different. They want me not just as a basketball player, but as a person. They want me to show my authenticity, show who I am, and in that way, just, represent me as more than just a basketball player. But I mean, having PEs at 17 years old is just, it's insane to me, honestly. I didn't think I'd ever have PEs, ever had, even a brand representing me or in support of me. But I mean, stay tuned for some PEs. Those are going to be insane. I mean, the colorways, everything, great designers, great shoe. The Engine A is a great shoe. I love walking it. So, I mean, it's going to be amazing. So stay tuned.
So what kind of colorways have you thought about? I mean, I don't want to give up too much, but are we going to switch the color? We're going to go from blue. Maybe we could go red, like some little off cut. What's your thought, bro?
It's honestly been sick. So I don't want to give away too much. And honestly, it's down the line. It's not like this is coming out anytime soon, but they approached me with the PE idea, and then they have like a group of designers that, implement different, parts of my personality into colorways so that they can apply it to a shoe, which is insane. So you have like, you have colorways that, my name Ament, there's like a colorway for Ament. I don't even know how that works. So it's like there's insane colorways. You got different types of like pinks, and it's just insane. So it's gonna be so cool.
Yep. And then, last, as we end, what advice can you give, a kid that's starting off his freshman year, he's unranked, he's growing, he's probably kind of like almost gonna be like your size, but even the kids that aren't, but what can you give in terms of advice to the kid that's a freshman that's, starting this process off and wants to be an NBA player and be in your shoes too?
I'd probably give them a couple things. I'd probably say, one, comparison is a thief of joy. Your journey is your journey. And regardless, if you really want something, you want to go out and get it, I believe you can do that. You just got to work hard. Another thing I would say is probably just make sure your circle's tight, you trust the people around you, and also make sure you trust God above everyone else, because I feel like if you trust God, then he'll never lead you astray.
I'm a fan, bro. No, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, dog.
Definitely.